Hello there guys. In our today's video we'll be looking at exponential equation that leads to quadratic equation. Here we have an exponential equation. From the first question we have 2 raised to the power of 2x minus 2 raised to the power of x plus 2 minus 32 equals to 0. And in the second question we have x raised to the power of 2 divided by 3 minus 3x to the power of 1 over 3 plus 2 equals to 0. So how do we go about this? Let's look at the first question that says 2 raised to the power of 2x minus 2 raised to the power of x plus 2 minus 32 equals to 0. So as we can see, we have 2 raised to the power of 2 here. We have 2 as the base here, 2 as the base here, but we have 32 here. So how do we go about this? This 2 raised to the power of 2x can be written as 2 raised to the power of x raised to the power of 2, open bracket and close it, to the power of 2 minus this, according to the law of exponents, where we have, as you can see, let's say we have 10 raised to the power of a plus b can be written as 10 raised to the power of a multiplied by 10 raised to the power of b. So this expression leads to what? Leads to this expression. So now we can rewrite this as 2 raised to the power of x multiplied by 2 raised to the power of 2 minus 32 equals to 0. Now if you look at this, we have 2 raised to the power of x here, we have 2 raised to the power of x here. So we can say that let my 2 raised to the power of x equals, you can use any value. You can use any value. I'm making it to be equals to m. So therefore, it means I'm substituting m as 2 raised to the power of x. So I have m squared minus m multiplied by 2 raised to the power of 2 minus 32 equals to 0. So I can write this as m squared minus 4m minus 32 equals to 0. So as you can see this equation, it looks like a quadratic equation. If we compare ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. This is a quadratic expression. So the next thing for us to do is to solve using either the quadratic formula or you use the factorization method of solving quadratic expression. And if you like, you can use a completing the square method. So, but as for me, in order for me to simplify this, I will be using the factorization method. So the best thing for me to do here, if I want to use my factorization method, is to look for the factor of 32, in which if I had the factor of this c, which is 32 together, minus 32 together, it's going to give me minus 4. So what are the factor of 32? The factor of 32 are 1, 2, 4, 16, 1, 2, 4, 16, and 32 itself. So now, if I use 16 times 2, definitely it will give me, let's say I use minus 16, multiply by 2, it will give me minus 32. But if I had negative 16 plus 2, it's not going to give me 4. So therefore, what I need to do here is to look for another factor. Sorry, I didn't include 8 here. 8 is also a factor. So let's try and see 8, comma 4. So let's say I have 8, comma 4 or 4, comma 8. If I have positive 8 and I have this as negative 4, I'm going to have positive 8 multiplied by negative 4 would give me what? Would give me negative 32, which is nice. But if I had positive 8 and negative 4, what will I have? I'm going to be having what? I'm going to be having positive 4, meaning that I can use this as a factor. Likewise, I can use negative 16 and 2 as a factor of negative 32. Now, the next thing I'm going to this, let me use my negative here and use my positive here. So if this is negative, if I said negative 4 multiplied by 8, I would have 32, negative 32, which makes sense. Then if I said negative 8, sorry, let's make this positive and this negative. Remember, we use negative here, so I'm making this positive. So if I say positive 4 multiplied by negative 8, I'm going to get negative 32. It makes sense. Then if I say negative 4 plus negative 8, it's gonna give me what? It's gonna give me positive negative 4. So therefore, it means positive 4 and negative 8 is a factor of negative 32. Therefore, I have this as, you can do this in two ways. It's either you say plus 4, m plus 4 m minus 8 equals to 0. Since this is my what? This is my factor. Or you can do it in this form, depending on how it is convenient for you. You can say your m squared, you replace your 4 minus 4m by positive 4 and negative 8. So it becomes positive 4m minus positive 4m minus negative 8m minus 32 equals what? Equals 0. After doing this, you can decide to group by saying your m squared plus 4m. You group this minus into bracket 8m plus 32 equals 0. Therefore, you look for the common factor, which is m into m plus 4. The common factor here is 8. You have your 8 into m plus what? Plus 4 equals to 0. Now you can see we have common factor, which is m plus 4, m plus 4. So you have your m plus 4, you take it as 1, and m minus 8 equals to 0. So your m plus 4 is equal to 0, m minus 8 equals to 0. So you have your m to be equals to negative 4, and your m, when it crosses the equal sign, and your m equals to positive 8. From this, we can recall, that our m, remember your m is equal to what? 2 raised to the power of what? 2 raised to the power of uh, x. So what we need to do now is we say that when our m is equal to minus 4, it means my m equals to 2 raised to the power of x. I'm substitute the value of m as negative 4. So I have negative 4 equals to 2 raised to the power of x. So this can be written as 2 raised to the power of x equals to negative 2 raised to the power of 2. So when this cancel out because they have equal base, I have my x equals to negative 2. For when m is equal to 8, so I have my 2 raised to the power of x equals to 8. My 2 raised to the power of x equals to 2 raised to the power of 3 when you write it in an exponential form. So as you can see, 2 is common to both sides, so I have x equals to 3. Therefore, from this, the value of x, it's what is a real number. So we can say that our x is not equals to negative what? Negative 2. Therefore, our x is equal to what? Is equal to 3. So this is how to solve an equation, an exponential equation that leads to a quadratic equation. Now let's look at question 2. Solution. Question 2, we have x raised to the power of 2 divided by 3 minus 3 raised to the power of x raised to the power of 1 over 3 plus 2 equals 0. Right. Now, what we need to do here is, as you can see, you can rewrite this x as what? As 1 over 3 all raised to the power of 2. When the power multiply 2, it turns back to what? It turns back to this. And this remains as x3 3x raised to the power of 1 over 3 plus 2 equals to 0. As you can see, there is something common between this and this. So what is common is x raised to the power of 1 over 3. So we can say that let our x raised to the power of 1 over 3 equals, you can use any value. You can say let it be y, let it be z, let it be j, let it be n. So I'm making my x raised to the power of 1 over 3 be equals what? Equals m, or let's say, let's use another one. Let's use another value. Let's say it equals n here. So therefore, I can say that my n to the power of 2 minus 3. Remember, this is what? Becomes what? Becomes n plus 2 equals 0. So I have n squared minus 3n plus 2 equals what? Equals 0. Now, having this looks like a what? Like a quadratic expression. It's a quadratic expression if we compare it to ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Remember, you can solve these using any of the method that is being used in solving quadratic equation, be it factorization, substitution, or completing the square method, formula method. So now, in order for us to move faster, I would prefer to use a factorization method. We have n squared minus 3n minus 3n plus 2 equals to 0. So just like we did in the first one, you look for the factor of c, which is 2. You look for the factor of 2, in which if you add together, you get minus what? Minus 3. So what are the factor of 2? We have 1 and 2 itself. So let's look at this. Let's make this positive and let's make this positive. If we make this positive and say 1 multiplied by 2, it gives us what? It gives us 2. Plus 1 plus 2 give us what? Plus 3. But as you can see, the sign of our b, which is minus 3n, it's minus what? Minus 3. So if we said plus 1 plus 2, it won't give us what? It will never give us negative 3. So we need to what? To consider 2 comma 1. 2 comma 1. If you decide to make this positive, negative, and negative, minus 2 multiplied by minus 1, it gives us positive what? Positive 2, right? And if you said minus 2 minus 1, give us what? Minus 3, which means that minus 2 minus 1 is the factor of 2 that we will be using for this what? For this equation. Therefore, you can write that n squared minus n minus 2, n minus 2, n minus 1 is equal to 0. So we can equate n minus 2 to be equals to 0, n minus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, my n equals to 2, n equals to 1. But remember that, recall that n is equal to what? X raised to the power of 1 over 3. Therefore, we can substitute the value of our n by saying n equals to x raised to the power of 1 over 3. Our n, when n equals to 2, When n equals to 2, we have 2 equals to x raised to the power of 1 over 3. Remember that we need to what? To find the value of x. So in order for us to find the value of x, if you remember the law of exponent, in order for us to get the value of this, you need to apply what? You need to multiply both sides by what? By 3. Just like we have here, we have 1 over 3 here. So I have 2 raised to the power of 3 equals to x raised to the power of 1 over 3. You multiply the power by 3. Let's take, for instance, you have something like this. A raised to the power of half equals to, let's say, a raised to the power of half equals to, let's say, uh, 3, for instance. So in order for us to eliminate this, it's either you say you square both sides. In order for us to, yeah, it's either you say you square both sides or you multiply the power of you multiply both sides by the power of what? Of 2, so that you can eliminate this half in order for you to get a value for a. So for this now, what I'm going to do is just to multiply both sides by 2. So I have a raised to the power of 2 over, say 1 over 2 multiplied by 2 equals to 3 raised to the power of 2. So 2 can easily cancel out 2. So I'm having a value of a to be equals to 9. The same thing is what we apply here. We have 2 raised to the power of 3 equals to x raised to the power of 1 over 3, everything to the power of 3. So this can easily cancel out this. So I therefore have what? 2 raised to the power of 3 equals to x. So my x equals to what? Equals to 8. Let's look at this. When n, remember we have two values for our n. When n, when n is equal to 1, so I have my n equals to s raised to the power of what? 1 over 3. So I have s raised to the power of 1 over 3 equals to 1. So I need the value of x. What I'm going to do is to multiply both sides by what? By this, the value of the denominator. So what I'm going to have here is x raised to the power of 1 over 3 to the power of 3 equals to 1 raised to the power of 3. Then 3 can easily cancel out 3. I have s raised to the power of 1 equals to 1 raised to the power of 3. S equals to 1. So I can therefore conclude that my x is equal to 8 or x equals to 1. So this is how to solve an exponential equation that leads to a quadratic equation. See you in my next class. If you find this video interesting, give it a like, subscribe. Thank you.